Ya se empieza a grabar.
Sí, ya que tiene una hora.
We want to thank everyone for coming out. I know it's not sunshiny and beautiful, but we appreciate everybody made the effort to come out to honor our father, Alberto Fernandez. Diane's going to read a little poem, and then I will translate it.
The poem is called "Someone is Missing." Let this be a loving reminder that someone is missing today, someone our hearts still hold on to as we travel along life's way. Someone who made life so special for all those who gathered here, someone who won't be forgotten but cherished from year to year. And now, as we pause to remember Alberto Fernandez, let us all fondly recall how dearly each of us loved him, and oh, how he loved us all.
El poema se llama Alguien falta. Recordemos que alguien falta hoy, alguien que nuestros corazones recuerdan. Las vidas de nosotros siguen, pero ese alguien hizo nuestras vidas especiales. Para los que estamos juntos hoy, Padre, nunca te olvidaremos. Te apreciamos y te seguiremos queriendo año tras año. Y ahora que estamos juntos para recordar la vida de Alberto Fernández, como cada uno de nosotros lo quisimos y como él nos quiso a todos. We're here today to honor the life of my father, Alberto Fernandez. We brought him and my mom's ashes. That was his wish. They wanted to be together. We're not sure what we're going to do with the ashes as a family. I guess we'll have to figure out. But they're together, and I'm sure they're in heaven doing the two-step or some cha-cha-cha or something. They love to dance in their youth. Albert brought some beautiful pictures of my dad. I'd like to thank Albert, Diane, Cindy, Jim, especially Jim, for taking care of my dad tirelessly for the last 2 years. His wish was to die at home, and Jim and I think Cindy were in the room with him when he passed away. So my dad's wish was to pass at home, and his wish was granted. I'm very thankful for that. Diane, I don't know what we would have done without you and Albert and Cindy and Jim.
Well, we were happy to take care of Grandpa. I mean, he blessed our family, he blessed the babies.
Yeah.
Every day, every morning, every night, he kissed them goodnight.
Yeah. I was happy when he would say, I'm ready to go home. And Ohio was his new home. Berwyn stopped being his home when my mom died.
Yeah.
And I was happy when he would say, I'm ready to go home, Albert.
Or he would say, I'm going upstairs.
I'm going upstairs at 10 o'clock on the dot. If it was 10 to 10, he wasn't ready, but 10 o'clock on the dot, he would say, it's time for me to go up and get ready for bed.
Yes.
But my father, he was a very soft-spoken soul person.
Never had a mean word.
Never had a mean word. But, you know, he was very strong. He had a very strong character. And I think I drew a lot of his strength from him.
I think we all did.
Yeah, and I think we all took some of his strength and just built on that. So you can see by his loving family that
He was the center.
he was the patriarch of the Fernandez family.
And grandma.
Yes, and, you know, we're very blessed. I still feel my mother's presence when I'm going through some tough times, and now I feel my father's presence.
Okay, me too. I do, because out of the corner of my eye, I know, what, did I just see somebody?
You know what, that happened to me the other day. I thought I saw like a shadow go by, and I thought, what the, you know what? I'm like, Mom, was that you or was that Grandpa?
I
But, I don't know if I should.
He didn't.
Yeah.
Cindy, should I tell the story about the orb?
Oh, you can?
For those that I haven't told, Cindy had, you know, they took such good care of my father. They had a baby monitor, and they had a camera set up in his room. And she had a little monitor next to her bed, so if one of them got up, they were always checking the monitor to make sure Grandpa hadn't fallen out of bed or gotten up to go to the bathroom when he was in trouble. And Cindy says the night that he, the night before he died, at 1:30 in the morning, Jim was at his bedside all day and night. He was so afraid that Dad was going to pass and someone was not going to be there with him. So Jim took it upon himself to just be sitting there. And Cindy said at 1:30 in the morning she got up and just happened to glance at the monitor, and like at the corner of the darkest part of the room where there were no windows, she saw like white flashing lights, and they were moving like
Little circles, just
little white circles like orbs. And they were
one
just
big one that went.
yeah, and then it became like a big one, but it was hovering around above my dad's bed where Jim was sitting. And then all of a sudden it was whoosh, it shot out and it was gone.
That was it.
I really think, I don't know if it was an angel sent by God or maybe it was my mother's spirit, but I think she was coming to take him home.
That's what Jim says too.
And he never regained consciousness. And he died at 4:40 in the afternoon.
But he didn't pass alone. All of us were.
The family was with him. The hospice people said he could hear. So Cindy and I was on the phone. I said, tell him I love him.
He knows that we all loved him. He knew, he was ready. He knew it was his time.
He knew it was his time. He didn't want to eat anymore. He didn't want any more sustenance or any kind of medical procedures or liquids. He didn't want anything to sustain him. He was ready to pass, and his wishes were granted. He didn't suffer. He just, his spirit, his body slowly faded away until at 4:40 he was pronounced dead by the hospice nurse. And I really think my mom came and got him, and he was done with this earth. But I think he started a new beginning in heaven, and I'm just happy that they're both together now.
Yes, we feel the same way, all of us do, that we're happy they're both together, that he had a good life, he had the family around him.
Yeah.
And it was just full of love, especially Cindy and Jim. We can't say enough, that Cindy and Jim did everything.
Yeah.
They were strong, and they were able to lift him and do what needed to be done, where Albert and I just stood by and watched, and took care of the babies.
That was a blessing, just being able to be there and take care of the children while Cindy and Jim.
In fact, the day the priest came to the house to bless Grandpa, Grandpa still had his mind, and Tiago was running towards the front door, and Grandpa goes, there he goes.
It's like the baby, the door.
Grandpa was.
He was was very worried the baby was gonna
His
slip out.
last day, his last day where he spoke.
Yeah.
Those were his last words that I remember. There he goes. So,
But I think we should add Fernandez next to Jim Morcheco's name. Because Grandpa loved him like a grandson, and he would always speak about Jim, and he didn't know what he was gonna do. So Jim, thank you from everybody, the bottom of our hearts. We love you, and I don't know if any of the other siblings would like to say some words. Jim will say grace before we eat.
I think Jim can say a few words about Papa's life in Ohio. Jim can speak for us. I mean,
Okay.
Sim,
Hello, Fernandez family. It's no secret that a few short years ago that I came to be with part of this family, and I'm happy to be here. I told Cindy that, when people get together, more times than not, it's the daughter that winds up getting absorbed in the other family, and somehow I just got absorbed into this one. So, I met Grandpa a long time ago, and a couple years back, and he welcomed me with open arms, and I jumped in with both feet, and he made me laugh every day. Oh my God, he made me laugh every day. I'd greet him in the morning, "Hey Grandpa, how you doing?" And he'd look at me and he'd go, "Well, I'm still here." First of all, it shocked me, took me back a minute, and then I was like okay with the answer. My mom would say that in our family, we don't deal with our mortality very well, so we deal it with jokes, and when Grandpa did that, it kind of made me, feel closer to Grandpa and deal with him in a lighter heart. So every day he and I would have a conversation. I used to ask him, like what kind of games did he play when he was a child, and he said, "I didn't play any games." I would try to find him hard to believe. He always seemed to be very serious. He was very gentle. That was one of the things I loved about him. But he was, believe it or not, in the last stages of his life, he was a kidder and a jokester. And I love that most about him. So I was very happy to be a part of his life and be with him. And taking care of him was not an issue or problem for me. My son is still in the show, I'm sure. Grandpa, every morning, Grandpa would wake up and see Tiago, and he would wave to him and say hi and try to get his attention. In the beginning, Tiago paid no attention to him at all, and in the end, Tiago paid every attention to him. So, they got along very well. So, I just want to say that it was a great pleasure to take care of the man that is now being honored, and I love him and I miss him a lot. Thank you.
I know.
I just want to say a few things, and actually I want to play a couple of very short songs for my mom and papa. With music, with my dad, he was very encouraging to me, and actually took regular music notation and transcribed it into numbers. It's called tablature, and he did that for the last 25 years for me, and I have hundreds of transcriptions that he's done, and he was such a perfectionist that some of these songs were very long, 9-10 pages, and if he would get to the end, if it didn't line up, he would crumple them all up, and it took him months to do one of these songs. And I'm like, "That's okay, Pop." No, he had to crumple it up and start over and measure. And I have a couple of them I'll hand out, and you can see how perfect every letter and everything. So I did want to play a couple of short pieces for Pop. But I want to also say something about Mom's sense of humor that I forgot to say at her memorial. And I hope that I'm able to tell this and you guys understand. But I told a few of you, but the last month before she passed away, I took them, my mom and pop, to a doctor's appointment, Dr. Roundine, and he says, "I need I need you to go to the lab, which was a mile away, and get a urine sample. And Mom had the oxygen tank and the tubes and her purse and the wheelchair, and it wasn't that easy. So I would run and open the door for her, and I could tell, started not to like me doting over everything that she had to do, she wanted to do with herself. We get to the lab, and I get her in the wheelchair, and I'm like, what can I do, Mom? What, you need help? You want me to hold your purse? And she's starting to get aggravated. We get to the nurse, and she says, okay, I need a urine sample, and she hands me the cup. And I'm thinking, oh boy, how's she gonna do this? And so I hand her the cup, and we're going towards the bathroom, and instead of me saying, you want me to get the door? I wanted her to tell me. I'm like, you need me to do anything for you, Mom? And she says, you could hold the cup steady. And I thought that was just so funny. I mean, that was my mom's sense of humor, and she just the way that her look at her face, you could hold the cup. I wanted to share that. Let me play a couple of short pieces.
Ya Teresita era favorita. Papá era muy perfeccionista. Una cosita fuera del lugar.
En los últimos años le ayudaba.
Sí, sí. No, él era perfecto en sus trabajos.
Ese era uno de los favoritos.
Sin ti.
It's called C.2016.
Is that her favorite or his?
They both like that from Mexico. This was one of Grandpa's favorites, La Paloma.
Nice.
I didn't want to get away without saying something. But, you know, we were fortunate the last 2 years. My father stayed with us in Ohio. He was surrounded by family, and he died peacefully. Up until September, when he had his 95th birthday, he was still walking around, enjoying life. But after his birthday, something happened, and he just shut down. He just refused to eat anymore. So he was very stubborn. He wouldn't eat. And he went in his own free will. He just wanted to join the mom. So Cindy was trying to force feed him, and he wouldn't eat. He lost 45 pounds in the last month of his life. And you know, no matter what we did, he was determined to go, and he went on his own will. But he went happy. He died peacefully at home, surrounded by family, and you know, I think he's at peace. So we were fortunate to see him for the last 2 years and enjoy his company. And every day he would tell me he was ready to go, and I was packing his bags. You know, I was so mad at him almost every day because he'd tell me, "Ya estoy listo, ya estoy listo." Le empacaba los valices ya para llevarlo al funeral. But no, he went on his own will, and he died in his sleep. So you know, we should all be so fortunate. 95, and healthy up until the end. He was very healthy. I think, you know, we're fortunate to maybe have his genes and live to be that long and healthy all the way to the end. But so we, you know, we're celebrating. He was a good man. My mother was a good woman, and they're together. You know, we got some pictures. Used to love to sit in the park and read, so we take him to the park and read at the park. Used to love to eat. He had a little bottle of cognac that he and Jim used to share a little cognac.
He corrupted me.
He corrupted Jim. So he was happy up until the last month of his life. He was active. So we're fortunate and happy that he got to live as long as he did and as happy as he did. So thanks to everybody for being here and joining us and celebrating his life. I don't know, did anybody else want to say anything?
Todo lo que pudiera decirle.
I'm happy to see everyone here today. I mean,
No dijiste lo del...
So,
No,
my grandfather's things that I remember is my mom telling me when I was a little kid, maybe your son's age, that I would in Mexico be crying, and my mom would always try to console me, and my grandpa said, "No, just let him cry. He'll cry himself." Oh, sure enough, I did. So,
you're still crying.
And I think I mentioned this before in the past. I think when it was celebrating, I don't know what year their anniversary was, that we were so fortunate for them to have made the pilgrimage to the U.S. and to establish residence here, and that opened the door for all of us to advance our lives here in the States, and I'm very grateful for that. Had it not been for them, who knows, probably still be in Mexico. I'll probably be there anyways because of Trump.
That's another story.
Eventually.
That's another chapter.
But, I'm very happy for his generosity with my family, for letting us live in their house. We set up residence eventually with Alberto and where my folks live now. They were very supportive of my studies. I'm glad to have finished college, for myself, but also for my grandparents. It was always, education was important to them. And for them to have been at my wedding, that was also nice. But, and I'm glad that, his passion for music, and Hector has it, that most of the family has it, and I have it too, for drums and music. So I'm grateful for that, and just grateful for everything they've done for us. So thank you all for coming.
Anybody else?
No, I think.
You're next. Put you on the list. I'm not a talker.
Beto dice, ¿verdad? Que tenía 95 años y yo tengo 75. Así que siempre que nos veíamos y más que nada cuando había un aniversario de gente ya mayor o algo, tenía muy buen sentido de humor. No lo puedo decir en inglés, así que y una vez él me platicó, pues tenía sentido de humor de cuando un artista que se llamaba George Burns cumplió 85 años y le preguntaron, oye George, what's the secret to be 85? Well, you had to be 84 first. so that was when he was 84, 85, and then George Burns lived to be 100. So quite often when we got together, we started talking about. So to me, that's always in my mind. I can see it still here.
I told you he was funny.
Very funny. My son said that about the music. That's true. When I was, I'm not a musician, but I really enjoyed music. And we spent so many hours, so many days enjoying music from the late 30s, early 40s. Yo fui muy afortunado. He sido muy afortunado. He sido bendecido. Así que no creo que tenga más fuerza.
My husband is very emotional, so I'm going to say a few words. It's not a secret that I had a love affair with Alberto. Because when I met him, I loved music and I loved poetry. So I would sit in his, in the living room or in his little office and listen to all of his stories. I know everyone was tired of his stories because for years and years he would tell the stories and Hector would come by and he'd roll his eyes and Raul would look at me like, we know these stories. But I would be so excited to sit there and listen to his stories, and he would tell me with such great passion. He sent me a DVD. He made a DVD for me, and on there, now you know his handwriting is really teeny tiny, so he put all of these beautiful poems that I love on these DVDs and sent it to me. So of course, how could I not fall in love with him? I see so much of him in my husband. In his talk sometimes, or you know when you ask him a question and you need to sit because the response is going to take him about half an hour. Yes. So I will go to Raul now. I say, Raul, how do you feel about it? He goes, well, and I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, it's his dad. He's becoming his dad. But, you know, this family is such a gentle family, such a gentle spirit, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of it. And I really love these two little old folks who I got to meet in my life, and they were part of my life, and such a blessing. So I'm just honored and grateful and just amazed at all of you guys. So we love you. And if you ever want to come to Florida, come with us.
Next week. Next week. No lo digas lo que decía, ¿eh? Qué bien.
Yo desde un principio dije que no quería hablar, pero sí voy a hablar. Yo quiero decirles que yo no conviví mucho con ellos, porque yo estaba en México y ellos acá. Ya la vida de casada de muchos, ya la lleva por muchos caminos, ¿verdad? Pero tuve la gran oportunidad, Dios me dio esa oportunidad de convivir con él los últimos meses de su vida, por así decirlo. Estuvimos muy felices, muy contentos, platicamos mucho. Él no era muy gran platicador, ¿verdad? Pero yo le hacía preguntas de su vida anterior y todo se sabía, todo me lo contaba, 2, 3 veces, ¿verdad? Todo me decía él. Y quiero agradecerles a todos ustedes su presencia para recordar lo gran hombre que fue él, un padre amoroso, muy responsable con su familia, y quiero agradecer a Dios de haberme dado esa gran oportunidad de convivir con él los últimos meses de su vida. Gracias. Anyone else want to say a few words?
I want to say one more thing.
You want to say one more thing?
I want to say one more thing.
Okay, and then Jim's gonna do the blessing of, say grace, and then we can go in the bed.
In Grandpa's final, months with us, he was, and I said it was very comical. Sometimes it wasn't intended, it just happened, things happened. Grandpa was in a stage where, he was just doing things. When the family came to visit, he would lay in bed and, but the minute you left, he was like, where's breakfast? And we caught him in a couple of those moments, and the last time Cynthia and I we were in our bedroom, and the family had visited him, and he was, And so this is one particular night, he was moaning and groaning and complaining, and kept coming downstairs and checking on what he wants. And he said, no, I'm fine. I said, well, you're moaning so much. He goes, I'm in ecstasy. It's this moment of happiness. And so we were laughing about that. Yeah, he said it, I'm telling you. I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. So I'm like, we'll cut it out. So
2 in the morning.
I go back upstairs, and he's moaning, and Jim, and Cindy goes, don't go back down there again. You've already been there 4 times down there. Don't go back down there again. I said, I gotta go. He's moaning. He's upset. Jim. So I come running downstairs, open the door. I go, what's wrong? He's laying in bed. And he goes, the closet, it's open. So I shut the light off, and I closed the closet door. I said, okay, that's enough of that. He said, okay, and so he go to bed. Grandpa, when you're paying attention to him, he wants attention, so you left, and he was fidgeting in his bed. He'd remake his bed, he'd move around, he'd walk around the bed, he'd make the bed move. We're watching him do this. Pardon me for a second. So as he's making his bed, he decides he's going to go to the bathroom. He leaves the room, and of course we got a camera in the bathroom, so in case it doesn't fall down. He goes to the bathroom, and when he comes back, he comes in and he straightens up the bed a little bit. He sits down, and then he did this trick. And he got off the other side. I said, Cindy, did you just see what I saw? And he went into the closet. Those moments made me mad. But when you come back there, Grandpa would be like, oh, I'm just so tired. I can see why. Little somersaults in the bed will make you tired. Grandpa was very comical in a lot of those ways. I've had a lot of special moments with Grandpa. I love him to death. I will miss him like my own. His family is my own. He's a great man. I've learned a lot of things from him. He has debated a few things with me. You know, he would see me and Cindy talk, and he would say, "You will never win with a woman." She will always win. I said, Grandpa, he was like, I said, okay. He goes, I think I'm Fernandez. So that was Grandpa. Anyways, I wanted to share that with everybody. That, one of my special moments with him.
Estoy pensando.
Right now, I thought we were sitting there. Oh, we're just
Hi, baby. Give me a kiss. Beso. Beso.
Read about the head, please. Father, thank you for the Fernandez's travels here to be with Alberto Fernandez today. And everybody's safe traveling here. May we all be blessed in retraveling home safely. And have a good meal that nourishes our body, enriching our life. Thinking about Alberto Fernandez today, I would just say that he is with you now, God. And we all miss him and love him dearly. And hope to be with him soon. Not just but we all love him. And we should see him again. Amen. Enjoy the food.
The food is warm, so we're